Welcome back to E-Erotic the brand. Hi, my name is Eden Lee Middleman, your favorite dating and sex coach here. And today we're going to talk about post-nut clarity. I'm going to talk about post-nut for men and women so both men and women can understand one another and what it's really like after we both finish. So while it isn't super backed with science, there is explanation about why we suddenly come to our senses, or there's this different feeling or sensation for men and women after we orgasm. There's a lot going on when we are hot and heavy and horny. Hormones are being released, neurotransmitters are getting fucked with, that are creating a change of decision making and processes in your body. And once you orgasm, there is a release all across the body, including your brain. And the prefrontal cortex is in charge of decision making. There seems to be a renewed sense of clarity after we orgasm in the prefrontal cortex area of our minds. This is caused by the release of different hormones and neurotransmitters. However, my friends, before I get into men and women and why it's important to know about how we both might experience our post-nut differently, and therefore making sure the experience is pleasant even after you orgasm, let's just discuss some red flags about how you might feel or what you might think after you orgasm. If you feel any sense of shame or guilt, okay, and you were, having safe, consensual sex with somebody, then it's time to reevaluate who you're sleeping with or if you have an actual problem or some sort of issue when it comes to sex. Sometimes this can be deeply seated issues from trauma or past experiences that needs to be unpacked with a therapist. So please don't take it lightly. You shouldn't be experiencing shame and fucking guilt after you come. You shouldn't feel disgusted by yourself or with who you slept with. If you are uncomfortable with who you slept with after you orgasm, I want you to think about, what can I do before I get hot and heavy that won't put me in a position where I pick partners just because I'm hot and horny? When a man comes, it obviously has this sobering effect on them. You can probably tell, you've probably experienced this as a woman, where they suddenly get like all weird. They come and they just like run to the washroom, want to clean off, or they get a little, awkward or uncomfortable. Real men who are gentlemen won't do this. They'll make sure that you're okay, that you've gotten the affection and attention that most women oftentimes need post-sex, and we'll get into their post-nut clarity and what they require versus what men require. So it's all about meeting your partner in the middle if you are a respectful and decent human being. If you are in a relationship or trying to make sex even better, make sure that you understand the experience of sex in someone's mind doesn't end just at orgasm. It's kind of the way you guys settle down after the fact that really is factored into someone's mental experience with you in the bedroom. So this is also low-key a sex tip. Keep in mind with how men and women experience post-nut clarity, and try and compromise and meet in the middle where you feel somewhat satisfied and so do they. So for my ladies, if you know that it kind of has this weird effect on them, they sometimes they don't really feel like being intimate or cuddly or lovey-dovey. They just kind of want to have their own minute. They want to cool off. Let them. I'm probably not like the majority of women. I will be honest with you. I also want to like cool off and chill. I do want some like love and affection, so I don't feel like a piece of meat that was just used for someone else's pleasure. I want to also, be regarded as a human being. Are you okay? Everything okay? Do you need a tissue? Do you want to clean off? Let's cuddle, whatever. Just like chill conversation. We don't need to be all lovey-dovey-dovey, because like me, I'm also like, okay, that was great. Can we just like chill for a sec? So it depends on the person you're obviously sleeping with or having these moments with. For most guys though, and again, this is a generalization, but you will notice, and men can vouch for it, just give them a minute or two. My guys, if you feel like you are pretty stark with your behavior during and then after you orgasm, and it's just like night and day, you really want to be mindful and fucking self-aware. All right. This is what the channel is all about. Self-awareness. If you didn't know that, welcome. Go to the washroom, clean off, then get back into the bed and have a quick cuddle sesh. Okay. If you guys have places to be or things to do, apologize. Be like, I would stay, blah, blah, blah. And then make it up to them the next time. Be a man of your word. Be a woman of your word as well. I mean, it goes both ways here. Be respectful. There are ways to get your breather by going and cleaning off and like asking for that privacy to do so. Just like breathe it out, do your thing, have a moment, get back in, and just relax. There doesn't need to be a lot of talking as well. I'm going to get to my ladies too, who are needy and a little bit gross after sex. Like your behavior needs to be tamed a little bit, in my opinion, because you have to factor in that men and women are different and we do want different things after we orgasm. There is no harm in having communication and conversation with your partner about what you might need more of, but just because you need it doesn't mean that that person should be doing everything that you need. You have to both lay on the table what you both need, and if it seems to be so different, how can we compromise or just be mindful of it and like let go of certain things if they aren't such a big deal on the grand scheme of things. So some days, just let your man chill, clean off, move on, enjoy the moment. In 10, 20 minutes, he'll be back to his normal state and you'll be fine. Sometimes having, time apart from each other is really good too. If you've been all over each other for hours, let's say. You just have to figure out what your comfort zone is and how you can talk yourself into something that is healthier and more balanced for the both of you. So a fun fact about women. I mean, not that this is anything new, okay? This is not going to be revolutionary. But women fall in love through sex. Well, that's what people like to say. But the truth is, women tend to fall in love through oxytocin and dopamine. They feel like they're in love. This is their love hormones when it is released. And that is released during sex, okay? So they're feeling all of these things during sex. Now, they don't just shut off when they orgasm or after they orgasm. It takes a minute for them to kind of like get back into a balanced mental state where it's not just like this crazy release of oxytocin and dopamine. It takes a minute, for it to slowly go back to its normal state. So women will oftentimes feel after sex that they want to still be cuddly and lovey, maybe even go for round 2. They're not really like, oh, okay, now I need to chill, or now back to reality. Their reality comes in and seeps in slower than a man's post-nut would. Post-nut for men usually slaps them in the fucking face. For a woman, it dwindles off for a minute. So keeping that in mind, ladies, you might feel like, oh my God, I'm so in love. Oh my God, like I want to cuddle. Oh my God, I want to, all this stuff. Like, you just take a deep breath. Give yourself a few minutes, a minute, 2 minutes. Guys, 60 seconds. Count to 60 while you're lying there. And I'm telling you, by that minute that passes, you're going to feel a little bit more level-headed, less clingy, less needy. The problem is usually a lot of women go and grab the man and like, oh, why aren't you cuddling me or whatever? And then you're making a big deal in a moment where he needs you to just shut the fuck up. That's the truth, okay? He just needs you to be chill for a minute. And you need to do the same for yourself so that you're not behaving like somebody that you aren't or don't want to behave like. You don't want to embarrass yourself in that moment. So here's how we can compromise here. Count to 60, both of you. One can go to the washroom to physically get away from the situation, clean off without making it seem like they're avoiding the other person because they're cleaning off. And like, actually, you probably fucking should. And the other person could just be in bed, chilling, taking in the moment, breathing, relaxing after a great orgasm, hopefully, and a great sexual experience, and just come back to your senses. You're both coming back to your senses. So there's going to be a fluctuation. Things are going to feel extremely different from what you just felt a few minutes ago because your whole body is going through something. You orgasmed. You got the peak of all of these releasing hormones and chemicals that make you feel really good. And now your body's like, whew, we're kind of in depletion. We're trying to figure shit out. What's going on in the body? What's going on in the brain? And us men and women deal with it differently, right? Knowing this information, you now know not to take post-nut as personally as I'm sure some of you guys have. Men also, you should be aware that sometimes if you are extremely cold, how that might be offensive to a woman, even if she does know this information. If you are in a relationship or if you have respect for the partner, I think regardless of what the title is between the two of you, that you both should find this happy medium. There is nothing wrong. If anything, it makes you look better. It makes the sexual experience last longer in their fucking brain. And who doesn't want to be known for being so great in bed? When you give each other some sort of affection, making sure that you both are okay, cuddling, kind of breathing it out together, chilling, and then getting out of bed and being like, okay, do you want to grab something to eat? Do you want water? Do you want something? And that's so you can switch gears more organically without it seeming like something's wrong or that you're rethinking what just happened. La-di-fucking-da. If you see that you have an anxious partner, okay, or you are the anxious partner, vocalize it. Sometimes we need reassurance. That doesn't mean like, do you still love me? Do you still like me? Like, give them a few minutes. But once that's gone and you feel like it's been 10, 20 minutes and things still feel uncomfortable, you can say, is everything okay? If they say yes, take their word for it in that situation. If there really is something wrong, then obviously it's the other person's job to state it. You've done your part as the anxious person. You've asked, take what they say to heart and stop reading into everything. Of course, things are going to feel different because you can't compare fucking to not fucking. Chances are the way you're feeling when you're not fucking has been how you both were throughout the whole day. It's just during sex, a switch flicks on and you guys are like so lusty over another because you're horny. Okay? People are a lot more insecure after the post-nut clarity because they have this sudden, shift in how they feel and try not to make the other person feel some type of way. I think we should all be in those moments, less focused on ourselves for just a few minutes and more focused on the other. Because what that does is it shifts your attention from being like, oh my God, like that sobering, crazy, scary, maybe potentially uncomfortable feeling and being like, okay, how is she feeling? How is he feeling? And then that helps you guys kind of get out of your own heads and try and make sure it's a pleasant experience for both of you and in turn feed off each other's good energy, hopefully, and good vibes because you both are treating each other nicely and compromising. Thank you guys so much for listening or watching. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you rate it 5 large and in charge stars anywhere you listen to podcasts and follow my podcast because it really does help me out. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you guys know the fucking drill, okay? Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe and hit the bell for the notifications so you don't miss any more of these episodes. I hear you guys. You guys want more sex-related videos. This channel, although might have seemed at the beginning to be very sex-driven and sex-forward, it is about dating, sex, love, and life. So there will be more to it. It's not just about sex. But if you guys are craving more or have any more topic requests, you guys know I give the people what they want. So leave it in the comments down below and I will get to them. Thank you guys for watching. Take care and I'll see you back here soon. Bye.